Hello students, today we are going to learn new concept in issue of shares. That new concept is call in arrears. Now what do you mean by call in arrears? Call in arrear means the member, I mean shareholder, is not paying the call money whenever it is made by the company. That is called call in arrear. So in simple language I can say outstanding money. It is not paid by the shareholder. So when the shareholder is not paying call money to the company, then it is called call in arrears. So it's very simple that the money company asked, but one of the shareholder of the company have not paid it. So that it will be considered as calls in arrears. Understood, students? So today, after understanding the meaning of it, what meaning I explained you? Call in arrear means shareholder not paid either allotment money or maybe call money. So call in arrear means shareholder have not paid either allotment money or maybe a call money. So when the shareholder is not paying any of the call money or allotment money, we put it into this account called calls in arrear account. Now, if the shareholder have not paid, can I say that the money is receivable, students? Yes, because shareholder have not paid the call money to the company, so I can say that money is receivable. In future, we are going to ask our member, our shareholder, to pay this call money by giving him extra time to pay. So from company's point of view, since we are doing accounting for company's book, we are thinking from company's point of view, and if you think from company's point of view, this money is receivable. It is receivable from whom? From the shareholders. So this money is receivable from the shareholders. Okay. Now, if it is receivable, can I call it as asset, students? Yes. So all receivables, whether it is a bill receivable also or receivable from our debtors, are all assets. So whenever I say receivable, it is your asset, and whenever I say payable, it becomes your liability. So since the money is receivable, you can call it as your asset, as an asset for the company. Now, you know this modern rule. What is modern approach? Modern approach says all assets always have debit balance. So calls in arrear, since it is a receivable asset, will be debited. Now, for each call money, first call, or it can be a second call, or it can be a final call. Students, arrear can happen in any of the installments. It can be first call money, it can be second, or it can be final. So wherever, in whichever installment there is a arrear, in that installment ka entry, you have to show that arrear ka account, arrear ka entry. Now, for each of the installment, you know very well now that for each of the installment you are going to pass two entries, bank entry and transfer entry. So in which entry you have to show this arrear account? You will be showing in bank entry. So always debit calls in arrear account in bank entry only. It can be bank entry of any of the installment. If question says that arrear was at the time of second call, so second call ka bank entry mein you show arrear debit. Question may say a shareholder didn't pay at the time of first call, So first call का bank entry में you debit calls in arrear account. Am I clear with this? Or the question may say that the shareholder didn't pay allotment money. So at the time of allotment, in the bank entry, you show arrear account as a debit. So it can happen arrear in any of the installment except application, because in application what happens, every person will have to pay application along with the application money, then only shares are allotted. So in application, the very first installment of application money, there you will never have arrear. Arrear is possible only at the time of allotment, and after that any of the calls. So it can be also at the time of final call. So whichever installment it is, allotment, first, second, final, in whichever installment arrear is happening, in that entry, for you know that in each of the call you are going to pass two entries. So which entry you will show arrears, students? You will show arrears only in bank entry. And what effect to give for arrear? Debit. Why debit effect? Because arrear money is receivable, it's an asset. So I hope you have understood the meaning, you have understood the concept, and also you have understood the effect of it, and also where to show, in which entry to show this arrear also you have understood. So I have taken one example, a small example of my own. What question says, company issued 20,000 equity shares to the public. Public have subscribed for it. We received application money, allotment money. Now company made a first call. How much of first call was made? Of ₹3 per share. Now Mr. A, one of the shareholder of company, holding how many shares? 1,000 shares. Then paid the first call money. So there is a arrear at the time of first call. We are not solving entire sum, students. We are just focusing on the first call. So let's pass two entries for the first call. So yes, students, you know what are two entries we pass for each of the installment. So first entry will be your transfer entry. Agreed? Yes. So what will be your transfer entry for first call, students? Your first call ka transfer entry will be equity share first call account debit to equity share capital account. And what will be your calculation? How many shares company have issued? 20,000 shares are being issued. Into how much company is asking at the time of first call? 3 rupees. So your first call money, total first call money from all the shareholder is 60,000, which is due, receivable. Now you will pass bank entry. Now what question says, Mr. A holding 1,000 shares didn't pay first call. So you have to show call in arrear at the time of bank entry. This is what I explained you here. So whenever you have to show arrear, you will debit it in bank entry. So that is what we are doing, students, in this example. So what will be your normal bank entry? Tell me. Money is coming in. This is your normal entry which I am recording. Money is coming in, bank account debit. And in this normal entry, and what you write, what you credit? Equity share first call account. So your temporary account gets cancelled. It is getting cancelled only if you write the same amount, 60,000. So I am going to credit this first call temporary account with 60,000. Then only this account will get cancelled completely. Am I clear with this part? And can you see, student, this is your normal bank entry. Bank to equity share first call account. Now what is the difference here? What we are learning new in this video? How to record arrear of Mr. A holding 1,000 shares. So what effect should I give to arrear account? Debit. Why? It's a receivable asset. So I am going to write here calls in arrear account debit. Now let's do the calculation. How much Mr. A is holding shares? 1,000. So 1,000 shares. I didn't receive money on 1,000 shares of first call. How much is first call? 3 rupees. So there is a arrear of 3,000. Mr. A was holding 1,000 shares and first call money was 3 rupees. So Mr. A was supposed to pay 3,000 and he didn't pay the 3,000. That you will put it in arrear account. Am I clear with this? How much to write in bank account, students? You will write balancing amount. So if you do credit minus debit, what will be your balancing amount? 57,000. So all shareholders paid the money except Mr. A, 3,000. So you received 57 out of the total. So for bank account, students, you never do calculation. Simply from the total first call money, you minus the arrear amount, and the balance amount you take it as a bank account. That much amount you have received. I hope you have understood how to apply this arrear ka entry in whatever installment they have given in the sum. Thank you, students.